everybody wants to know about cracks in the Olympics. So we've got a bunch of screenshots which shows the dimensions of it, so we can talk about the crack, what we think, and then I've got some screenshots of some climbers climbing. See what we think.
And say absolutely nothing controversial.
No, absolutely nothing.
Okay,
because
we should get that. We should get that straight early. There won't be anything controversial that you will say.
Not that I'll say, no, because I don't really say anything controversial. I just laugh at your stuff. Should we kick it off with that there was actually a crack in the Olympics and what you think about that?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point. I mean, we talked about this quite a bit beforehand. I felt like we were bigging it up quite a lot. Like, you know, crack climbing's a thing. It could... No, it's definitely going to be in the Olympics.
Well, some of these cracks might be in the Olympics.
Don't tell them that, though. They weren't supposed to know about that.
But I wasn't that sure. I thought that maybe it would be too risky for the route setters.
We talked about a crack on the head wall a lot, didn't we?
That little beauty and the final problem.
Yeah, on the final head wall at Tokyo. Imagine that.
On the lead route. Now, I think that would have potentially been quite risky. The crack in the bouldering, we had seen that like building up through the World Cup season, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Or through basically over the last like year and a half, through a couple in Meiringen, a few in Salt Lake, and so I do feel like it was building up to it, but we were sort of like, picking it up quite a lot, sort of saying there is going to be a crack. So it's a miracle that there was one, really.
Yeah, I mean, the global crack density has been heading in the right direction for sure. We had the tide on our side with this one, but considering how little climbing there was in the Olympics, you know, it's not like 20 different boulder problems and loads of qualifier rounds and everything like that, and multiple qualifier routes as well. The chance of one showing up in any significance was actually kind of low, maybe, if you think about it.
But we did have something on our side, which was one of the chief route setters was Percy Bishton, a route setter from the UK who's like from the Peak District. He kind of likes his cracks, and he is a route setter from back in the day that has been fondling with a bit of crack in comps, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So I when I heard the news that Percy was going to be like sort of a chief setter of the bouldering, I had my hopes were risen because, you know, I'd actually been in contact with some of the other route setters. Who was it? Adam Pusselnik, about crack climbing, and he was the chief route setter of the lead. So we did have we had some sort of like connections with both route setters. Do you think we had any influence of that crack in the competition, or do you think it would have just happened anyway?
I don't know. I don't know how much crack influence we have now, because I feel like we gave it to the people. They've run with it now for the last 3 years. I mean, do you remember all that time ago we had stuff like #CrackIsBack, and I was thinking, we'll find like 100 people that will tag this thing. And Danny had the Off-Width Army, and it's fully just its own thing now, which is really cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that whole crack is back with you just went, we need sort of a slogan, don't we? I don't know, crack is back, I'm just going to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it happened.
You know what the last phase is when this is over?
What's that?
Is where me and you are getting burnt off by every man and his dog on a crack. Can't do that, too hard.
Yeah, when the cracks get too hard.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah.
They will get too hard. I mean, they're in the Olympics. They are too hard already.
I think maybe the keenness of everyone out there going, this is funny, this is amusing, it's causing people issues, it's a thing, has maybe been influenced by us doing a lot of shouting about jamming and technique and cracks and everything like that. So it became a thing to identify with. Whereas, I think cracks have always been around, and they have been involved with setting. So, I mean, it's not like a Wide Boys Volumes turned up in an IFSC comp, is it? So, can't take that much credit.
No, I'm hoping for the next Olympics with the new volumes.
Yeah, there with the soft grip.
Yeah, soft grip pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. Imagine that. That'd be brilliant. That's what I'm pumping for next. Let's move on to the crack itself, the little beauty in the comp.
I was going to say, this is exactly the kind of folder that I like to open on my laptop. Angle, distance and size. I mean, there's all sorts of goodies that could be in here, isn't there?
Should we kick it off with size.
Yeah, I mean, size is always the most important. Crikey. I was not expecting that to be in there.
Yeah, we weren't sure what else is in the folder. I mean, it was only small, wasn't it?
Small
It
but
was
mighty.
small. Yeah, small but mighty. Very significant, I would say, because it was there. Just marooned in the middle of the wall by itself, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I liked how they actually gave a little like dimensions thing of what the size was, even in the comp, and pointed out. I had loads of people message me going, "That's not 4 centimeters. They don't know what 4 centimeters is."
What's 4 centimeters?
I think
That's
it.
just below. That's below
Yeah,
2
I
inches,
think
isn't
it's like paddle hands for me and you. I mean, mine are just getting thicker and thicker every year. Like going back down to the crack in the cellar again this last couple of months. Like jams are just getting tighter and tighter down there.
Your hand is like mine 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then yours will be like, in 2 years' time, yours will be like mine now.
Yeah, I mean, I've got so much like bone density in this like bit around the back of my hand. It's really kind of like bony and like knobbly and hard.
And the skin as well. Like the scar tissue underneath.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just getting thicker and thicker.
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe 4 centimeters would have been a paddle for us.
I think it would have been paddle. Yeah,
Yeah, would have been paddling.
yeah. It'd be great if Percy had actually like set that up with a like in the shape of a paddle or something like that on the wall. It'd be great, little canoe underneath. Maybe he was actually going for the ultimate commentator's thing, where he's going, and Jakob slips into the paddle. It's a flipperoo, and he's into the finals. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't actually listen to any of the commentary on the jamming. Did you listen to any of the commentary or not?
He rips off his shirt and tattooed across his chest is paddle, paddle, flipperoo.
Who, Jakob?
Yeah. With an Austrian eagle across his chest underneath.
Where do you get this stuff from?
I don't know, it's just where my brain goes.
Okay, so we had a 4 centimeter crack. It looked sort of like a recovery drink move in a way. They were grabbing the edge of the crack and then bumping their hand into a paddle.
Yeah, and it didn't look like a very good hold to go off with the right hand, so it wasn't like you could just set it up exactly right, like just perfect. What do you think you would have done with that move?
Well, it'd fallen off probably.
I mean, if you could have held the move across to the crack, let's say.
Probably to the pinch, to the edge of the volume, and then gone in underneath. You know how the volume is sort of like going out and then up in a triangle way? If you actually come in from underneath, it can actually be a bit easier, especially on those thin ones, can't it?
Mm-hmm.
Which I think most of them were trying to do. But actually only 3 people got up it. I want to check out the distance. Because you know what I think we should do? I think we should set this when I get back. Because this would be really easy to set. And it said it was a 35-degree angle wall. It's great, they give us dimensions. We can just go and climb the Olympic problem now.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? I bet you anything we'll just be laying one on for that crack.
Yeah, just stabbing into it.
Yeah, like throwing wildly, trying to catch a double clutch paddle hand.
I'm going to get you on the 5-minute timer. Like comp style.
Let's do it.
There's 3 people that did the problem. Ondra, there was Jakob, the Russian guy, Alexei.
Goes to Jakob first.
I think the first thing to note here is that Jakob actually did the problem.
Yeah, it's good effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, really good effort. Do you think like this problem has got him psyched? Like he wants to see a crack in a comp now? Like because there was only 3 people that did it. Do you think now, like, I've got one up on the competitors here, like this is what I want to see in the World Cups?
This could be the birth of Jakob the crack climber. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if he stops turning down offers to go to the cellar.
Has he been offered?
I don't think we've asked, actually.
No. We'll have to ask then.
Do you think he'd be up for it?
I think he'd be up for it. I think he'd be keen now. I think he's seen the potential. He's 1 step ahead. He's 1 step ahead of everybody else.
I mean,
there's 3 of them out there leading the pack above all the other 20. There's only 3 out of the 20 that did it.
It's quite impressive how good his jam was as well as placement.
It's really good.
Just textbook, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a perfect hand.
Yeah,
slotted right in there.
Lovely little finger bars. Did you DM him and ask him about where he got his crack technique from in the end?
Well, I don't know. I sent him some crack trainers before the Olympics.
Did you?
Yeah, So I'm wondering if he used them. I'm hoping we were the success to Jakob's crack problem here, or a help.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of other factors determining this, you know. But I would like to think that sending a couple of crack trainers out to him that helped him on the problem. I've no idea whether he used them or not. Or
Someone needs to sort us out a meme with a screenshot of that problem changed and just Photoshop in 2 crack trainers on the wall.
yeah, yeah. I really want to know if he used those crack trainers and if they were helpful, because that would make my day.
Yeah.
If they actually came in useful. He's got really good technique there, and like I just said before, actually, he's coming in from underneath the crack.
God, imagine if they'd made it so you had to do a leftward exit from that crack and you had to put a foot on that smear on the triangular volume.
Oh, so you're having to match into a paddle like this and then reach out the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been quite good. Let's move on to the O-Dog.
Oh, I bet when he saw this problem, he was just thinking, absolute cruise fest.
He's actually matched in the crack. He's gone for a paddle with the right.
The thing is, he's going to be so confident in this type of jam. Like, I bet it just felt like it was game over from there.
Yeah, he thought he'd done it.
Yeah.
No bother.
Yeah. I think when he saw the problem, he knew it was game over.
You know how he's paddling there, so he has been practicing his paddle. What do you think for cellar scenes, like Adam on a power paddle?
I still don't think that thing is ever going any lower than 0.5.
0.5.
And the hard sequence, it's way too hard.
You heard it here. 0.5. Yeah, we'll see. I think Ondra's been practicing his paddle. Olympics is over now, isn't it? Yeah, the big comp's over, so it's time to get stuck into the real stuff. Okay, yeah, this was the controversial fact that I had. Ondra was in second place, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then Jakob had to climb. And then Jakob climbed and he got above Alberto. And then for a period of maybe 15 seconds, Ondra was in gold position. If Jakob had fallen off in between Alberto and Ondra, then Ondra would have won gold. But Jakob climbed above Ondra, and then Jakob took bronze, and Ondra took 6th place. Now, the fact here is, Jakob got through to the finals by climbing a crack, in which we sent crack trainers to Jakob to practice on. If Jakob wasn't in the final and he hadn't taken over Ondra, would Ondra sit in that silver medal position?
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Because you predicted a while ago, the only way Ondra can not win gold is if we teach the other competitors crack climbing.
Right now, I think me and you are probably Adam Ondra's biggest threat, because if we teach the other competitors how to crack climb properly, they may well be a threat to Adam. We're his biggest threat to the Olympic gold.
It's a huge roundabout way.
No, I don't think it's roundabout at all. I think it's a direct correlation. I think this is like...
short roping.
No, I think that's absolute nonsense. Do you know what? One of the things I actually really like about the fact that Alberto won, yes, he is a really well-known climber, but he wasn't one of the absolute mega names like some of the others in the contenders spots. And that's just massively just rammed him up in a deserving spotlight now. And he'll get a whole load of sort of like spotlight on him. There'll be more opportunities. And honestly, I think that's a really cool thing. Because
totally.
It's not like, you know, Ondra, Magos, Jakob are shorter opportunities and good things to happen to them out their sporting life. And I think it's cool what happened to Alberto.
The crack memes came up during and after the comp, which I thought were quite funny, because obviously when a crack came into the Olympics, just so many messages, I couldn't control it. People sending pictures of cracks. And then...
It's cool, isn't it, though?
Yeah, it's great. It's like, you definitely wouldn't miss anything. But I thought some of these were some good memes. I was just peeking through the crack on Century Crack.
That was brilliant, that.
That was quite a good one. Actual picture of Tom Randall when he saw a hand jam in the men's qualifier. I didn't think it actually looked excited enough.
Yeah.
I was like over the excitement of that when I saw it.
I don't get notified about anything else in life as aggressively and as on time as crack appearances in the world.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. There's far more important things going on in life, and I don't hardly get any notifications on those.
As soon as there's a crack in any competition, it's like seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we're the only people in the on the whole earth that are interested in cracks, and so all traffic just directs to me and you.
Oh, something brilliant. My phone was like smoking.
Yeah.
And then the last one, this was actually my favourite one. Somebody's found 2 photos of us on like the America trip, and then the photo of the side pull, and then the hand jam going in. That was brilliant. I love that one. The women's crack.
I never watched this.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
So this was a crack in the women's final, problem 3, but nobody actually used it as a crack. So I'm just sort of wondering whether it was a crack or not. In the men's, it said it was 4 centimetres.
Yeah.
In this one, it said it was 2 centimetres. But I think it looked a little bit wider than 2 centimetres, personally.
Ah, for sure. Look at that hand.
I'm wondering whether you could have gone into it like thin hand entry.
Yeah.
People did get past this crack section, but nobody did the problem. But I'm wondering, if they'd gone into a jam, maybe they could have saved a little bit of energy.
Yeah. You know what the thing is, though, is I bet you that would be doable using jamming technique if you spent years and years jamming. But I bet it's desperate. It just feels totally unworkable if you haven't done a whole load of that.
Maybe they set it in a way that the hold above was just a blocker, and actually it just made going to that hold so you couldn't totally slap for it.
Yeah. And you couldn't use it for your feet so easily from above either.
Yeah, exactly. I still feel like the women have got some sort of proper crack yet to come.
Yeah, I think so. And also, I would say in general, from having climbed with a few of the women competition climbers, I actually think they've got a bit further to go, actually. There's a lot more potential for them. And if 1 or 2 women were to really get into the style, I think they'd have a massive advantage over the rest of the field.
So that's what we've got to be pushing in late 21 into 22. It's the girls on the cracks.
Yeah.
Okay, at least we know where we're heading. Now we've seen cracks in the Olympics, what's the future? Where do we go from here? Where are we taking it? Where are they taking it?
I'd like to see like a big depth in the field where we're going, isn't it amazing? There's like 100 people who can all climb above the 11 crack boulder and all climb 514 crack.
Then you'd be cooking.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Then we'd start to see some big progress.
White Rim might be
a popular location. I don't think it'll ever be a popular location.
I think it's coming.
Yeah, round it out.
That's the Olympic cracks. We've analysed them. Next, we build them.